everyone, and welcome to the 2 Point Studios dev stream. As you can see, my least favourite person is apparently Chizel. I'm so sorry.
Hello!
We will turn off these lovely exhibits so that you can see our faces.
Well, you don't need to see me, really.
We
I'm
do!
just here to...
Here we go. My name is Abby, I'm the Junior Community Manager here at 2 Point, and it is a very special day, because it's my birthday. No.
Happy birthday!
It's a very special day because we're having a look at gameplay, which, if you've been following our Gamescom coverage, you know that some lucky people got to see a little bit of the demo last week, but we're here to really deep dive into things and talk to some of the lovely devs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down the line. Please tell me your name and what it is you do.
Hello, I am Ben Huskins. I am the design director here at 2 Points. I will hand over to
Hello, I'm Luke. I'm the lead designer on Museum.
Hello, you know me. I'm Chizel. I'm an assistant producer, but today I am an expert in prehistory.
Oh,
Hence the getup.
We'll go through what's in your pockets later, because some of them might be relevant to some of the
Oh,
gameplay
you
that
can't.
we'll
Oh,
see.
yeah, okay. You've got the best pocket.
You get the best pocket.
You're losing the brushes.
The dino pen is the best part. So we will be taking questions from chat. I've seen that people are asking about a replay. We will keep the VOD live on Twitch, and we'll also be posting it out on YouTube next week. We know that you need to yell, apparently.
Okay.
We will indeed put it up on YouTube for everyone, because we know that the time zone isn't the greatest for people over the ocean from us, so don't worry about that. But before we get started and we go into gameplay...
Sugar. Sorry, I'm breaking stuff, as per usual. Don't mind me.
We've not been in the stream room for a little bit, so we're a little bit rusty. Before we kick into gameplay and have a look at things, people keep asking, why museum? Obviously, theme park was something that kept coming up. You might be sick of answering this question.
Oh yeah.
But do you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about why museum?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, like as we were finishing campus, we were considering a few different ideas. I think we actually had a short list of 3 ideas. I'm not going to mention what the other 2 were, because who knows what we'll do in the future. But the thing about museum that got us, basically, the more we talked about it, the more excited we got about the idea. It just kind of felt like there was a lot that we could do with museum as an idea, a lot of different possibilities, ways that we can expand on the gameplay. I mean, you know, the thing that I always talk about is this idea of collecting the exhibits and players building up their own unique collections of exhibits. We kind of love that idea of people finding unique stuff, and you know, based on how they explore the world, but also, you know, the decisions they make along the way. And so we just kind of immediately latched onto this idea of like being able to make your museum unique, and then things like the expedition system. That was a very natural fit for this, and we love that idea of having a bit of a sense of adventure in the game.
Totally.
It's obviously just a part of the game. That's like how you're acquiring the exhibits, but it just felt like, oh, we can do a lot with that. Kind of really add a lot of gameplay and strategy there, but also tie it into what's happening in the museum, because you're having to send off your teams of experts, right? So you're taking them away from their jobs in the museums in order to send them off on these expeditions. You don't know what state they're going to come back in.
We will take a proper look at the expedition screen and what's involved with the expeditions when we get in game, because we know that there's quite a lot of detail on that screen that if you're just playing through it, you might not get highlighted, so we can explain a little bit about mechanically what's happening if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to mention is obviously we've done patients, we've done students, but now we have guests, and mechanically that's quite a new thing for 2 Point, right? So what was the approach when we were looking at, you know, what makes a guest? How do you make guests happy?
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's best to sort of look at it as in a way of what are you doing as a player with the previous kind of guests, right? So patients always came in with a preconceived issue. They had an illness that you need to cure. With campus, they had a specific course that they wanted to do, whereas here they're almost like a blank canvas which you mould, right? So they're coming in, they have some interests, like they might be interested in prehistory, but if you don't have that, they might not, you know, they won't look at that. But the idea is that you're crafting a guest experience around what you think is important, what you like to put, and then as they go through it, they'll go, oh yeah, this is cool, or I didn't know about this, and this kind of stuff, and they'll have personal things that they want to see, but more than anything, it's about you creating this kind of flow in the museum and getting them excited about what you're excited about.
Yeah. I think also, like in some ways, it's a little bit closer to hospital, that loop of the visitors coming in, than it is to campus. Obviously, the students were with you for a fixed amount of time, so it's a little bit more like the patients coming through. But the difference being, in hospital, you're trying to get the patients through as fast as possible through to treatment. Whereas I think here, you're kind of trying to like keep them staying in the museum as long as possible, because you want them to see everything in the museum and just
don't lie.
keep
You want
doing
their
it.
money.
You
want their money.
I want their wallets to see everything in the museum, and to stay in the museum. You know, we can look after your wallets. We have
Please leave
best
them at the
interests in
ticket
mind.
desk
Exactly.
on your way in.
Exactly.
Okay, before we go to gameplay rapid fire, starting with Chiz. Favorite exhibit from any of the themes and why?
From any theme?
Yeah.
Well, this goes against everything you said earlier to me.
We can talk about themes. Just
on the spot.
Just
That is
not,
on the spot. No, can you come back?
Not too many spoilers though.
Not too many spoilers, but if you're desperate to spoil, you can.
Pick like a subcategory.
No, I'll tell you, no, it's fine. I know my favourite is probably in Ghostology at the moment, and I think it's the Haunted Doll.
Okay,
I think the Haunted Doll is right
Why?
up there. Why? I don't want to spoil too much.
that's fine. Okay.
But you'll see
spoilers
why.
For
Yeah.
Actually, spoilers. September 13th, we'll be showing the Haunted Doll. There you go.
There you go.
It's Friday the 13th that day. So, favorite exhibit and why?
I actually think it is the frozen caveman or the frozen beehive. I
Nice.
just love it when, especially the beehive, when it melts and you just see tons of people running away and you've got staff trying to get through and they get attacked by the bees. It's great. I like that one a lot.
Husky?
I'm gonna have to go with a fish. I think.
Okay.
Obviously, we've talked about marine life.
Yep.
Recently, I might have to say, I don't know, maybe the tiger shark, just because it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
and
sharks
I'm a
in
big
general are very cool,
fan
aren't
of
they?
cats. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
the closest we've got to cats in the game at the moment.
Was that a hint? Do I
If
need
we
to
get
write
my
the note
way,
down? Get a
we'll have a
cat
whole
in
cat
the game.
exhibit
Yeah.
theme at some point.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I was gonna say the Haunted Doll as well, and I think for the same reason that you did. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
when I first saw it in game mechanically working, I was like, oh, I hate that, but also it's amazing.
No, but exactly. For me, it's just it's that instant like wah, and
Yeah.
when you see it and everything that's going on with it, there's new layers to it every time. So that's why it's my favourite, because it's also doing something that we've not really done with any item before.
Yeah.
In the I don't know what's the word
That,
for it. Just
that subcategory is my favourite.
Yes,
Of all the
yes,
subcategories
definitely.
by far. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff there.
To pick a different one, just because I feel like I should. I won't say what it is, but we have a FNAF reference for any friends of that, any fans of that series, and I just love that exhibit, and it's one of the ones that you collect all the pieces to put it together. So, but I'm very excited for spooky season. The doll doesn't have a name, but it does remind me of Annabelle, if you know about the Conjuring kind of series. So, okay. Are you ready, expert? Do you expert in the gameplay?
Well, let's preface this with I'm a prehistory expert, so actually I'm an expert in finding the exhibits. You're the curator, right? I'm not the museum admin, although for purposes of right now I am. So go on then, in we go.
Let's go. We will preface this with this build's about a month-ish old now. I have a list of things that we shouldn't press because they're a little bit work in progress, but we will try and touch on things as we get to them. Things, for the most part, the game's pretty playable. We kind of late alpha. We obviously don't have a release date out yet, but there's a big discussion happening internally right now about when we are going to release, so we'll let you know as soon as we know. But yeah, we're working on it. So you have a crate.
I have a crate.
Yes.
The ex-admin left it behind.
Should we just appreciate this animation for a second?
It's beautiful.
I love it.
Oh yeah, giant foot. Here we go.
Before you hit next,
Oh, go on then. Do you mean place exhibit?
what's some of the what are some of the details that we can see here? And it says epic. Can anyone do a Hearthstone
Go on.
legendary?
You're a big Hearthstone fan, aren't you?
Am I?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, no, you
Apparently I
hate
am.
cards. No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, so we have different rarities. We're trying to sort of get all that excitement across. The idea is that when you're going to these locations, you're also surveying them and you're learning more about the location. And as you learn more about it, there's a higher chance that you'll get a better quality version of the exhibit. And better quality means it's got more buzz. And buzz is, you can see there, this foot has 10 buzz. And buzz is basically how impressive it is. And so when a guest views it, they gain the 10 buzz and they're like, whoa, that's pretty cool. But if it's, epic or pristine, they'll get more buzz. And then the last stat there is knowledge. And the idea with that is when you go into a museum, you've also got to learn about things, right? And so what we're doing there is it starts at 1 knowledge, and you know a bit about the foot, but you could go and analyse that foot in the analysis room, and it would then be 2 knowledge and 3 knowledge, and then whenever you get another footprint fossil, it will be at 2 or 3 knowledge.
Yeah. I've just noticed this build doesn't have amazing tooltips that we set up on those.
Over here?
Those things. No, on the buzz and knowledge that basically said exactly what Luke just said, but in the tooltip. So they're not in the build.
It says knowledge, but no, I see what you mean. A bit more of a functional descriptor, you might call it.
Well, yeah. It's
Yeah.
Another technical term, we'll have a triptych later.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So if anyone's familiar with the 2-point series, you know that we kind of have the little pop-up tutorialization that explains things. So buzz is a pretty big thing that you'll be dealing with in game and making sure that you're maximising buzz to keep guests impressed.
Yeah.
So we'll get to it.
So,
Chizel,
I feel like you're trolling us
a little bit.
So it's almost like there's part of the museum that's specifically
like, let's put it there. Yeah.
But some people.
Hey, it's your game. Do it your way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just not the way you did it.
Just not the way I did it. Yeah. Here we are. Got a little bit of fluff.
Look at that.
Whoa.
I mean, that is like the first thing that you're thinking about is when you find these things is where do you want to place it, and that just becomes more and more important as you expand the museum, because they're all going to have different benefits by being placed in different places relative to all of your other exhibits.
We've got lots of new traits here.
Do you want to talk about toilet terror?
That's my favourite. I'm so happy that's.
We don't actually have one. I can't lob it in.
Studio is that one based on?
Yeah. If you hire someone with toilet terror, whenever they use a toilet, it will instantly set the maintenance to 0, so they just destroy the loo. It's great. I love it.
I'm going to go with Gwyneth because Gwyneth is a level 3.
Amazing. Answer a question in chat. Are those walls movable? Can you tell us about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, as you were saying before, part of what you're thinking about is that visitor journey, and as you can see, Chizel's just immediately destroying the wall. But I mean, you can. This is where the game really becomes really interesting, because unlike Hospital and Campus, which were very room-based, it was treatment rooms, diagnosis rooms, classrooms. Museums much more about that corridor space, and so it's so much more freeform when it comes to the museum layouts, and
it does let you completely shape the guest experience. If you want to, like Gary funnels people through a bit of a tunnel and then ends at the gift shop and things like that. You could make it in a way where you funnel everybody through prehistory and then maybe some marine life stuff and then the gift shop.
Can you funnel them through just loads of toilets?
We've got to try it. I think we've got to try that.
Get those toilet terrors. They need to be.
You can also do things like we have staff only doors. So if you do have a toilet terror, you could set up a staff only area with a private toilet just for the toilet terror.
I don't have access to them yet, do I?
Not yet. You'll get them.
You will get them.
We'll get there.
To answer your question in chat, you can indeed put stuff on the walls.
Oh yes.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we know in Campus we obviously had our kind of fake partition walls that were basically just an item, and we were determined to do it properly. For the museum, because it felt like it was a really important part of the game, and they do become really useful for that. Right, there's certain things you want to put on walls as you progress that you'll specifically want to put a wall in a space just to be able to sort of section off the area nicely and
totally. Is it worth showing the wallpapering as well while you're there?
Yeah, I mean, how far are we going in this build? Because that's a whole objective.
I think you should do.
That's true.
I mean,
you get.
treat yourself.
Treat myself to a bit of wallpaper.
A bit of flooring as well.
Wallpaper's over here somewhere. Bit of flooring as well. You're right. Do you know what? Let's do, because this is the bit I always change.
Oh yeah.
With a bit of wallpaper. There's a little precursor to later. Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I can do it one at a time.
Also bring some attention towards the very lovely reflections that we have.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favourite. I think
Oh, I didn't
what's
know.
the word? Iterations from previous titles, especially when
There we
a little bit later when we get the cheesy gubbins vending machine. Don't worry, gubbins are still. We still have gubbins.
Oh, yeah.
We won't get rid of the gubbins.
Yeah.
But the kind of reflection that you get off the light is really, really lovely. I don't know if we'll have them yet, but the like war torches and stuff as well. Like,
Yeah.
we have placeable lighting basically,
Yeah.
and it's kind of thematic. So for prehistory, it's the like fire torches, which look really cool.
The lighting's really nice in museum. It's obviously it's kind of what you'd expect in a museum. It's like part of the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean the big one are the aquariums, right? Like
Yeah.
they make the space darker around them, so it sort of starts to look really
It
cinematic.
feels
Yeah.
like an
Yes.
aquarium. Like,
Blue light spilling out and stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a big area that we pushed in museum is just making the lighting, you know, as awesome as possible, and it does really help with the atmosphere, right? The feel of it.
As well, just showing here some of the like additions to the tool, so you can do like the instant, the smaller triangles, and then you've got the line placement as well as the autofill if you wanted to go big, but you've got some nice
Yeah.
precision.
Someone in the studio actually, I don't want to say painted. They used the tiles to make a dinosaur, so like a mosaic almost. They look really cool.
Yeah.
I drew welcome in some of the
Oh,
B-roll, and that generally took me quite a while because I was trying to get it perfect.
Well, that's the cool thing about all these customization tools is that you can spend hours just noodling around and
Yeah.
perfecting an area, and then even then you're not finished because you come back later on and you've got a new exhibit and you think, oh, I want to slightly rearrange this area.
it's cool because you start to see people have kind of different characters. So like we know an Abby level, we know a Joe level, we know a U level.
Yes.
Yeah, functional is the
I am
yeah.
the evil capitalist.
Loves a gift shop.
Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah, can we see the dino floor mosaic?
Possibly, I'll have to have a look. I'll put it in
It'll be
Discord if we
somewhere,
can.
yeah.
It was from a while back, right? It was when we first got the system working. But we'll have a look. I'll see if I can. Whilst you.
Here's your
Oh,
triptych.
we'll look at this first. But afterwards, could you click on an exhibit for me? Because it
Mhm.
has the buzz stuff on
Mm-hmm. Yes.
it. Touched on this, but
Yeah, it's just a standard. Hey, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah,
This is what
I
you need to
still can't
focus
spell
on. Right?
triptych, but
I can't
I was just
either,
going to ask
yeah.
actually if anyone in chat knows
Can you
how
spell
to spell
triptych?
without googling it.
I get spell checked here.
What posters?
well, we learned I can't spell museum, so
Why
that's
isn't the
problem.
exhibit
Yeah.
behind the? Just look. Run your own race for a second, Lep. I will. All will be revealed in a while.
That line at the end of the trailer about you can't spell museum
Museum without-
Always mute the
I
weirdo.
actually
I mean, that was actually a reference to Luke because he definitely can't spell.
Yeah.
So I always get it the wrong way around.
He always spells it museum.
Museum.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It's just
quite
museum.
a few people on socials who are like, I don't think you guys know how to spell museum.
Well.
And I was just letting.
Yeah. They probably met me.
Right, you want me to
Well,
click on this banner?
Yeah.
I think there's now jiggle one there.
Trick.
I think that is
Tick.
correct, isn't it?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
From what I remember looking at
It
the
does
code.
I thought the first one was right, but
Oh well.
we learn
yeah.
something every day, everyone.
I just
Yeah.
know there's a
Stick it
Y
in
in
Google.
it. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Y's are definitely at the
There's a Y
start.
somewhere.
Let's have a look at the buzz screen, please, and we'll talk about.
Oh.
That
Do you
one.
want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this stuff?
sure. Yeah, so as we were saying earlier, you know, this foot fossil has a base buzz, then the quality's modifying it, but then there are a couple of other things you can do to increase the buzz as well. So every exhibit has a buzz bonus objective, and those are usually themed around the exhibit itself. So in this case, it just needs to be near a prehistory decoration. But there's multiple different things it could have had. You could have got a different foot fossil that wanted to be near or have no litter around it, right? Or be near a very specific piece of decoration.
My favourite one is
yeah.
the
They don't have them, do they?
clownfish. I don't know if it's every single clownfish, but they want a coral because obviously
Yeah.
in the real world they live in the little like anemones, right? So
Yeah, it really shines with the fish stuff because it makes them feel more sort of like that's their habitat
yes.
kind of thing. But the other big thing here is you also can gain extra buzz by decorating it. And there are 5 decoration levels.
Whoops.
Ooh, put a toilet next to it.
I could. Yeah.
So you can see here that this foot fossil is currently 2 out of 5 decoration, and as you place more decoration around it, it will increase. If you put prehistory decoration,
Oh, here he comes.
Oh. guest star.
Yes, we
We're
are
started,
live.
we are live. Come say hello.
He's
Well
holding
done.
boxes of
What's
Yorkshire
going on?
tea.
Yeah.
He just kicked the door in.
Why has he just got
Very
arms full of
British.
decaf tea?
Yeah.
Is he hoping we'll get a sponsorship if we say Yorkshire tea? Or
Yeah.
not? The proximity thing as well
Mm.
is new, obviously, because we don't have rooms really. Well, we do, but
Yeah. Well, that
not
was
a
one of the big
focus.
things. Kind of now that we're more in the corridor space, it's kind of how do we make that stuff work. So yeah, there is a radius around them, and also what kind of decoration you put has an impact.
Yeah, in fact, you can see when you're hovering over the item in the items list there, it will tell you like this decorative item is particularly well suited to this theme or this subcategory, and then you know you're going to get a bigger boost. But you can just use any decorative item for anything, and it will always get a bit of a boost, won't it?
Yeah.
before you place that, could you click on the wheel?
The wheel.
Oh.
The wheel.
So obviously this is a little bit work in progress. You can see the items being a little bit cropped, but this is one of my favourite things in this game. If you would like to make a rainbow wall of benches, of dino heads, of ticket desks, you're able to colour pick, so you can customise the colours here. And this is another kind of big iteration on the design tools in game. Obviously, the whole flow of the museum is a lot more freeform, but now you can colour code things if you would really like as well. So
It's very cool. And yeah, save your favourite colours, as Chizel's just on there.
and if you copy the item, it copies the colour as well. So if you want to make a Barbie museum and everything bright pink, you can. If you'd like to make an emo museum and everything dark green, you can. So very
If we,
cool.
Exciting.
if we still got the bug where when Albert cranks there at the bottom of the screen, he also shows up.
What was-
We can
colour
have a look.
picker.
We can
I
have a
didn't
look.
know if that was. Wait.
I feel like
He
it
was
might
in
have
the
been
colour
fixed by
picker.
this build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just like stood next
He's,
to the
he's
item.
on the bench, isn't he? He's just like
waving
stood
his
on
arms
the bench.
about like, look at this pink
He's
bench.
like one of those television like salespeople who are like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh look, we should probably
You
get
can
an
probably sell
assistant.
some tickets for these poor
Got
guests.
Oh
a lot
my.
of demand
Oh my.
already built up for your
Yeah.
museum.
Oh look, this one's got a nice ticket selling trait qualification, I should say.
Mm.
A history of pink, yes. Can indeed do this. We still don't have a toilet tower, so
Yeah, it's a real shame.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Can we speedrun to expeditions? Is that okay?
What, as in you want me to skip the objective?
No. Oh, you don't have cheese. We're playing this properly.
Do I not? Oh, of course, it's the PR
Cheats.
build.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Well then stop talking to me and get me to show stuff. And,
Focus,
you know.
please.
Before-
We'll
Well,
just shut up. Everyone shut up.
Everyone
So-
stare at Chizel.
It's your favourite bit, right? Donation stands, money.
I do,
Oh,
yeah.
money,
There's just
money.
something truly wonderful about the donation stand and trying to manipulate people into, you know,
Yeah.
just putting all of their cash into a donation stand. You can, I mean, that's the other thing is you're sort of thinking about the placement of donation stands, right? Because if you always want to have one
Oh, I killed it.
nearby.
Yeah.
If you've got a bunch of exhibits in an area and there's no donation stands anywhere nearby, then
I broke it.
no one's going to donate.
I broke
It's
it, I
all
broke it, I
right.
broke it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, the thing is, donation stands they get full and have to be emptied. So the game player is trying to maximise the number you have in an area, but that could also be emptied by
I
security
broke
guards.
it again.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Just ignore me, chat. I don't know why I'm
We're
breaking
in the
it.
late alpha stages, so as you can see,
Yeah.
we gotta work on some stuff.
Gotcha.
But it's getting
Ta-da.
Ah.
Someone's asked about, can I zone an area for my janitors?
You can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a zoning system in. I'm not sure if it's
We
in
not-
this build.
Yeah, we probably won't show it in this build.
But we will
just
later
because,
on
you
in the
know,
campaign.
we've still got a bit of work to do on the menu itself. But
Yeah.
it's quite cool, isn't it? It's like really
Yeah.
flexible. I mean, it's almost a bit like, obviously people are familiar with how you build a room or a building, and you're kind of doing a similar sort of thing with the zones. So you can kind of drag out an area and make it whatever shape you want.
Yeah, and then assign whoever you want to
Yeah.
that zone, right? Like
Yeah.
I think Gary does it quite a bit with security guards to make
Yeah.
sure that they're emptying the donation stands efficiently and things
You
like that.
mentioned for botany as well, because spoilers, if you don't water plants, they die.
Whoa! That is brand new information!
So it's a really good tool, because what you can do is just zone the area where all of your plants are and just have a dedicated expert
Yeah, the
who
intern.
just waters the poor intern
Yeah.
watering cans. So
Yeah. So it's quite powerful.
Yeah.
Really powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh,
Is this
yeah.
where you wanted me to be?
Okay.
yes. So I
positions.
think on the first go, it's a little bit. It doesn't show you everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess it's worth. I was going to say before you go into that bit, but obviously we've only found one map at the moment. But as you progress into the game, you're going to find different maps, and they're all exciting and unique and really intriguing. And the way that you explore them is kind of down to how you choose to explore them.
Totally, yeah.
For now, at this point in the game, you've just got the Bone Belt map. So
Ready?
go for it.
Thank you.
Yeah. That is all.
Next slide.
Very
Next slide,
cryptic.
please. Yeah.
Can you pan around at this stage, or are you? Yeah. So you can see the map's a little bit broken and torn up.
Should this bit even be here at the moment?
Perhaps
I'm
not.
going to go back over
We'll
here.
find out. But as you progress in the game, you'll not only be finding new maps, but also finding what we call poise or points of interest. And these are kind of these little, what do you call them? What are the photos called? Polaroids.
Polaroids.
Almost. We might get that far in the gameplay later, but for now we're still in the tutorial, so we'll see. What is it you're doing now?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, me or you?
Well, tell me.
Everyone, yeah.
can.
Yeah, go on then.
There's a lot we could say about it.
Because
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
clicking buttons waiting for you to talk.
We
well, if
could
we-
spend it out here.
Yeah.
If we set one up, we can.
Okay.
I think
Ooh.
Albert has quite a bit to say initially. Though.
Go on then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go away,
Oh, he
Albert.
always
We've
does.
got devs here, Albert. Don't need you.
Drive manual.
Yeah, right, there we go.
Yeah, so this is the expedition setup screen, and this is one of the key new features of the game. Where you have to send your experts and other staff members sometimes, like assistants and security guards, off on their own adventures. And the idea is that each poi has a different set of events that can happen. And what you're doing in this screen is you're trying to stack the deck into your favour. So you can see here there are a couple that are currently locked. If you find a shortcut, if you had a combined staff rank of 6, and you can see your current Gwyneth's rank is 3, that would unlock, and then it might come up as an event. And similarly, you can counter something. So if you also had a combined rank of 6, you'd counter the tar pit issue, so they wouldn't come back with covered in tar. And as you progress through the game, these get more and more advanced. There's more interesting combinations. People can go MIA, they can go permanently lost. They can come back with, oh yeah, you can damage the helicopter and then it needs to get fixed. And so what you're trying to do is you're just trying to build the ultimate team that can go to these, and you'll have different teams for different maps, right? Like the people I send to the marine life map, they're going to be different to the people I send to prehistory, and they'll encounter different events. So instead of falling in tar, they might encounter some weird sea creature or something like that, right? I don't know if
there's so many awesome, interesting events that kind of really they sort of sell that feeling of going on an adventure, and yeah, like you said, there's kind of all this preparation that you can do. Some of it to try and neutralise the negative things that could happen, but also, as you said, there are these positive things like, oh, I'm going to get a high quality thing if I have high level experts, that sort of thing.
Do you want to talk about cargo?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Well,
if you kick this one off, when we come
did
back...
you want to talk about
we'll
survey
be-
level?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so many things.
Because yeah, I'm mucking about with these options down here,
that's right.
and
Yeah,
I'm improving my survey level
yeah.
on
So
a detailed expedition.
So you can also choose the kind of approach you want to take for the expedition. And if you want to go speedy, there's the risk of damaging the helicopter, but it's much quicker. But if you go detailed, you spend a longer period of time there, but you increase the survey level. And the survey level is what we were saying earlier. The higher your survey level at poi, the more likely you are to get a higher quality version of it. So what you're kind of choosing there is, do I spend longer, do I invest more time into this poi to make sure that I get better quality things? Oh.
You sure you don't have the mini maps on the?
No.
I think this must be because it's an older build.
It is an older build.
Imagine an awesome mini
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the new build, a little map comes up, and it reminds me of like the Indiana Jones map where you can see the plane progressing. So instead of just it being a wheel that fills up, you can actually see kind of how far away they are in the chopper. And I kind of like squealed in excitement when I saw it, and immediately put it in the studio Slack, being like, "This is amazing! I love it." So
Look, we have lots of different rocks.
Those are cool rocks.
that's not all of them. You get pebbles as well, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Or you might have pebbles now. I can't remember.
So this is new, the swatch system, right?
No, we had
We had that
Did we?
in campus, but I think.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think
Ignore me.
Quite.
There's a
We
lot more.
use it quite a bit
We
more.
do
yeah,
use it
don't we?
more.
Just there's so many variants.
Oh,
of
can you
the decorative items.
please place a monstera?
A what?
You know the fern, the plant at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one with the round leaves.
That one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, ages ago on a spreadsheet I asked for monsteras because of Animal Crossing, and I love them. I don't know if that's why they're in game. They're just
Probably a
cute.
coincidence.
There you go.
I believe you have a crate waiting for you.
I do, but I just wanted to finish that. Oh, that.
No.
Oh, come on.
You do unlock. This just isn't all of the decorative items as well. Don't worry. You might have seen in the B-roll. There's a substantial amount. One of my favourites is the dirt flooring, which sounds really stupid.
It is
Yeah.
cool though.
You can make kind of dioramas, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah, I tend to put. Oh well, I'll wait until the crates.
Again.
Oh,
Oh,
a
the
bee.
bee.
Yes, it's
Oh.
got a bit higher buzz.
What
Great.
happened?
And
What
it's
happened
great
to
quality.
Gwyneth?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. To Gwyneth.
What's unique about these preserved?
Oh, yeah.
things then?
So this is a different subcategory. So before you had a foot fossil, which is the fossil subcategory, and then with preserved history, the idea is that if their grubbiness, which is essentially their maintenance, if that reaches 0, they start to smell, and you can see like stink clouds come off them, and guests
They will
sort
go
of
like
they go like,
this,
"Ugh,
yeah.
that's gross. So it's a bit higher stakes with the preserved history than the fossils.
Yeah.
But I was going to say
No
something.
one wants a stinky bee.
No, nobody wants to stink bee.
Oh,
And other really common sayings.
that is a very, very good pun. The frozen beehive could come back to sting you.
Oh yeah.
This one is just gets a bit stinky, and
The frozen beehive is awesome.
I love it. Yeah, I
It's-
really do love it.
one of my favourite things was when we had like a play test where people give feedback to the game, right? It's something that you pay to do, so you get feedback on UI and gameplay loop and stuff like that. But we had this awesome setup where we could see what everyone was doing in game, and I think 3-4 people had it defrost, and you could just see them panicked, like looking around the map, going, "Why is everyone running?"
Everyone's
What's
running.
happening?
Prehistoric bees.
Yeah.
So
They're
there
really
is
angry that
a
they've
lot
been
of chaos.
frozen
They've
for
been
like
frozen,
100,000 years or something.
and now they've seen a television and there's fluorescent lighting and
Yeah.
who knows what else. So,
I'd be confused if I was a prehistoric bee.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? This is a room. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh yeah, I
We're
mean
in
the
a
staff
staff
room,
room.
like it's not just the usual staff room, right? Like
No,
this
yeah.
is there's a whole different spin to it because of the expeditions, right?
Yeah, so I think Gwyneth actually, she came back, she fell in tar, I think she was on the expedition, and so she has now got what we call an ailment, an expedition ailment, and she's putting tar all over the place. Where is Gwyneth?
Pushing
yeah.
it. There we go.
Spreading tar everywhere.
Oh, you give
can
him
see
a
her
helping
feet.
hand.
Can I give him a
Yeah.
helping hand in case
Nice.
it runs out? Unless
Yeah. Yeah, so
Get cured!
Get cured.
you can now build a special machine in the staff room which cures ailments. It can't cure everything, so like later on you might get illnesses that you might remember from other games.
Oh.
I trolled a little bit with a wonky sofa.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. Somebody can watch Gwyneth get cured.
Someone's brought up
Oh, yeah.
a very good point, and that's staff training.
Training.
So how might staff training help Gwyneth not get told?
Yeah. So what we were talking about earlier with those counters, what you might find sometimes is survival training might counter an event, and what you need to do is build a training room and then build up their kind of survival training over 3 levels, right? I don't know if you want to talk about it compared to.
Well, yeah, I
You
guess
get to.
obviously someone was had spotted that staff were levelling up in the background, and they do, so they gain experience when they go on expeditions, but also as they're doing jobs around the museum, and so they will level up just based on
Yay.
gaining XP, but then you still need to train them. They'll unlock the skill slots essentially, and then you'll have to do the training. And I think it's fair to describe the training system as a bit of a hybrid of hospital and campus. Like for example, whereas in campus you could have one skill in a slot and then level it up. It's not like that anymore. It's more like if you want a higher level version of survival training, you need to put that in a second slot.
You're always making a choice now. It's
Yeah.
not just I need to send them to the training room to get better. It's if I train them in something, I'm sacrificing that slot. So I can either make them a master in kind of one area, or I can make them a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
What did you just do there?
Ah, what did I just do here? I've just pinned the objectives required to unlock this poi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, I mean this is kind of
And there
how
they are.
you explore the maps. Really, is it's all based on the things you're achieving along the way. And we really like that because it kind of ties the gameplay of exploring the maps to what you're doing in the museums.
Yeah.
And so if you, I mean, obviously you're still very early on, but you'll get to the point where you'll see branches in the maps, and you might go off to the east or you might go off to the north. And
Yeah, and that's the cool thing, because you might really like dinosaur skeletons, and there might be some poise later on that are encouraging you to get them to unlock, whereas I might really like the frozen stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've chosen to go for the poi objectives that kind of lean on that. And what that means is we just end up with different museums and different experiences pretty quickly. You've got cargo now. So this is another. Who was that?
Jaime.
Oh, it was Jaime.
This is another element of the expedition setup. And initially, I think you only get 3 choices: journaling, equipment. First aid will actually eliminate the tar, because it removes 1 physical ailment. But later on, you'll gain access to new types of cargo. You'll be able to make them in the workshop.
We haven't spoken about the workshop.
Oh,
so
okay. Sorry.
Do you want to? No, that's fine. Do you want to tell me a little bit about? Because I think it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Tell me
So
a little bit about
later on in the flow, you'll find the workshop, and it's a new room you can build. And the idea is that it kind of does a lot of things, really.
Yeah.
The main thing is that it builds interactive displays, and those are special exhibits that you build in the museum, usually catered to children, but sometimes also for adults. And they're kind of those things you normally see in museums, like if you go to the Science Museum or somewhere and you see things you can play with, and they're really tactile. And
it's like an edutainment thing.
that's the one.
Edutainment. There it is again.
And they don't only they increase buzz and knowledge, but they also give guests entertainment. So it's another source of that. So they build interactive displays, but they can also build special cargo. Like later on, you'll see you might have to build some drills or some special nets and things like that. And
I think that's where you kind of, as you progress, you start to really see the depth of the expedition system, and how you'll start to find those places on the maps where you think, actually, there's quite a lot of preparation that I want to do for this specific expedition. And it might be that you want to make a specific cargo item, or it might be that this thing needs a team of 4, and I really want to make sure they've got the right skills for this thing, so I'm going to do some training, and I'm going to make some cargo items. I'm going to make sure that they're cured of any ailments they might have, that kind of thing.
And there's other things like I was preparing for an expedition earlier, and my guy, he had the snake charmer trait, which meant that if there's an event which is snake bite, which sends them back and they're a bit poorly. But because he had that trait, he nullified it, which meant I didn't need to go to the cargo. I didn't need to worry about that. I could take what I wanted. And so there's loads of different ways you can approach those different expedition poise.
We got quite a bit of feedback, right? I think on staff and caring about staff, because I was pretty brutal in campus, and I would just fire and rehire people. But what you're saying is you're getting these specialists, right? They are literally experts if you train them and give them the tools and the time to do it. So you do care a little bit more about them, right?
Yeah, and you
want to make sure that they're happy. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think the expedition system, it kind of adds that sort of choose your own adventure side to the game. And so you do get these kind of stories about what's happened to your people.
Poor Gwyneth fell in a tar pit, but then came back and
exactly.
got trained up and.
So you do. I think you get attached to your staff in a similar way to the way we wanted people to get attached to the exhibits that they're finding as well, right?
Yeah, and they're so tied to exhibits, right? Like if I don't have a good enough prehistory expert, I can't go off and find some of the amazing stuff later on, right? So Gwyneth might become crucial to the museum later on. Right now, she might be a bit disposable, but
don't tell her that.
But as you're saying, there are dilemmas that can come up occasionally.
A lot more
choose your own adventure stuff, where sometimes when you're in an expedition, you'll get. Oh yeah.
Could you go back? Exhibit tab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got them. Yeah. So each poi has a certain number of exhibits that you can find there, and in this case, you found them all. And now you're kind of looking at, okay, how do I increase the quality of what I found them at through the survey level?
What happens if I get 2 of the same exhibit?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. So we've kind of designed the game so that even if you do find the same thing twice, there's reasons why that can be a good thing. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, there's different quality levels. They can have unique traits like
yeah.
this thing, actually, or like unique buzz bonuses and things like that.
There's a
Like,
good-
this thing will be good if I place it near another fossil.
There's a
or
very
that
good
sort of
trait
thing.
anecdote, which
Go
I
on.
think I mentioned earlier. Spoilers. I had a haunted toilet, and I was really confused because this haunted toilet was like surrounded in litter. There was rubbish all over the floor. I was going, what's going on? Thought I didn't have enough janitors, placed another janitor down, forgot about it. 10 minutes later, there's still rubbish all over the floor. I've got 3 janitors trying to clean this up. And I realised that the haunted toilet was compelling guests to drop litter near it because of a negative trait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a possession on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's cool. Like they are unique, even if you do find 2 of the same thing, they're still unique. And if you find a higher quality version, that has benefits because it will have extra buzz. But then it also has perk slots, and you can install perks on your exhibits.
Let's enjoy this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You ready?
What?
He's about.
I like the animation.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
No,
What do you
it's
need?
No pressure.
Da, da, da.
Whoa.
So you can see that this is branching off in a couple of different directions. So that's what you were saying earlier about that. Like
Yeah.
you might go north and I might go
Yeah.
west or something.
Yeah.
I think this one's an interesting one to talk about because it's a special type of location. Do you want to?
Yeah, it's an obstruction. So some poys just normally give you exhibits, and then this one is a special one where it's a one-off expedition to this location to clear the obstruction, and then when you clear it, you'll see there's another poi that opens up behind it. But what's cool about that is sometimes you're going to have to take really different team makeups, like this one where you have to send 4 janitors, right, to clear some lines or whatever. And it's a kind of way of sort of doing almost like a skill check for the player, where it's like, oh yeah, you think you're good enough to go to coal mines? Well, try this first. Oh yeah, there's the snake.
There's a snake.
Can we talk about seasons?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. We wanted to sort of have a way of you looking at your poise and going, well, is it the right time to do this? I've got the right team, but maybe it's not the right season. And so we split it into the 4 seasons, and sometimes you will have something where in the summer, I think you've got sandstorms.
We
is it
do.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you go to rainforest places, you might be in the wet season, you might contract illnesses there or anything like that. And the idea is, and actually there's positive ones as well, right? Like maybe in the marine life map, there's certain times where certain fish might be more likely to appear in certain seasons. And so, yeah, it's just another sort of aspect of that planning of, you know, I really want to get that special fish, right, which is in that special season. So I'm going to prepare the team for it, get all the cargo, build it all ready for that season, and then do it then. So yeah, there's tons of planning involved.
I have 2 requests from chat. Can you sell exhibits and can you change the ticket price?
Yeah, I spotted that one. Yeah, I think prices. There's a lot of price tweaking you can do,
Yeah.
which obviously I'm a big fan of. I like to ramp up my prices to maximum.
How did I know that was coming?
I don't think they're going to accept that.
No?
They do.
I
You
think
do
they
have to
will.
be slightly careful because for some reason they don't like it when
You
you
can
massively
see-
inflate the
You can
prices.
see there that the guests give you feedback as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of adjustment time when you're waiting to see what they think of the new price that you set. But you can set all sorts of stuff, right? Like gift shops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gift shops like individual, you know, like
Vending machines.
plushies
Vending
and-
machines,
yeah,
yeah.
vending
There'll be a
machines,
cafe.
Yep.
Cafe.
I was like, oh gosh, am I allowed to say cafe? Ah! Anyway, let's look at this because this is a cool exhibit.
Cafe what?
We hope.
Yeah, what? Cafe who? Cafe
You
what?
can also sell exhibits
Yeah.
as well. So
Oh, we haven't shown
Da,
this
da,
function.
da.
You don't have to put it straight on the cursor to put down. It can just go to your inventory,
Yeah.
which means it sits down here in this
Yeah.
box.
And that's really
Fetch it.
helpful if you are rearranging part of your museum or you're just not sure where you want to put something yet. It's a really, really helpful tool.
pair the bones.
I mean, this is an example of an incomplete exhibit where you're just finding part of it, and then you're going to have to go out and find the other parts of the dinosaur skeleton.
Yeah, it's another prehistory subcategory, and so what we try and do is make sure that each subcategory has a different gameplay mechanic. So, like the frozen stuff, it can melt.
Yeah.
The preserved history, it starts to smell, and then with the dinosaur bones, it is you need to get each segment to complete the set, and each segment you get adds more buzz.
And it just looks cool.
Yeah,
when you
that
get
looks
it.
cool, yeah.
So
Does look
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
you get attached to your exhibits. So.
But I guess as you were just saying, like that was something we were really keen to do with the exhibits, is make sure that there are these gameplay twists on each one. So it's not just about a bunch of really cool looking items, it's that they all have a different effect on the museum, and so you do get these interesting strategies about like, where do I want to explore, because that's going to affect what sorts of things I'm finding, and that's going to shape the experience that my guests are having and how I'm having to lay things out. And that's where, even though everyone kind of starts from that same initial starting point, your experience does diverge just based on those choices you make along the way.
And that map does open out into kind of different routes, right? And you can get a sense of you're specialising in one area, or you're really interested in these kind of things. Whereas I've just gone straight to cold mines and kind of ploughed ahead.
Talking about the kind of progression side, what happens when we finish with City?
Well,
how's the career going to progress? Because obviously this is one location.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you described it as finishing in the City. I mean, I think the way we're thinking about it in the museum is there's always a reason to come back to each museum. Obviously, in hospital and campus, what typically happens is people get to 3 stars and then they move on. And sometimes they get to 1 star, move on, and then come back, and then eventually get to 3 stars. And there are some situations where people would still go back to, like for example, Mitten in hospital was your classic. That's where people do their research, because they've built up a massive research lab. And we always thought that was quite cool that people did that. And as we were fleshing out the design for museum, we just felt like, actually, it would be great if people did have reasons to come back to their museums. I mean, partly because you do get a bit more attached to your museum, based on the things you're collecting and the amount of effort it takes to collect those things and preserve them. But also just all of the time you can put into customising it and making it your own thing, you do get a bit more attached to it. So it felt like we don't really want people to feel like, okay, I'm done here and I never need to come back. So you'll hit a point in this particular museum where you'll still get a star rating. So you still progress through these acts. There's still like narrative arcs to these locations.
What's happened to stars, or what has not happened to stars?
Well, so I guess the way we describe it is we're evolving the star system with this game. So we still have stars. We still have these like nicely crafted sets of objectives, and there's we describe them as acts that you're progressing through. And each act has a different focus. So obviously at this point in the game, it's just about the basics of running a museum. But then, let's say when you go to the marine life area, it will start to be focusing on that particular theme, teaching you about aquariums, that sort of thing.
Just to note here, whilst building the gift shop, you can use the decorations from the museum in some of the rooms now, which is really cool.
So if you're someone like Husky and you want to maximise profit, you can make a gigantic, and I mean huge, gift shop.
Or multiple.
You could make the maze of your nightmares, and they have to go through like 4 of them before they can leave.
It literally just goes gift shop, toilet, gift shop, toilet, gift shop. They have to go all the way through it.
We've got one-way doors and staff doors. And
that's where it gets
stuff,
really interesting. Like the one-way doors are great because they feel like, because they're so the guests are so polite, kind of based on British rules. They're not willing to go the wrong way through a one-way door.
It's not like in IKEA where you take a shortcut. Like they will follow the one-way system.
Yeah.
It's the tyranny of arrows. They sort of feel like they have to follow the arrows on the floor, and so you can kind of really channel them down a particular route.
Totally.
I mean, you can even try and like trap them in an area if you want to. Right?
If you want a sort of gift shop maze nightmare.
If you're playing it as the escape room museum, you can do that if you want.
Yeah.
As you can see, you can change all of the pricing per item. So one thing that I like to do, I don't know if you start with them, but you get onesies the little kids can wear. And I just like making them really cheap because I love it. Little kids dressed as dinosaurs running around.
It is very cool when they put the onesies on.
Different types of guests will want different things. So you're saying the kids, they like the onesies, but the tourists, they like the trinket stand, and professors, they really like the bookshelf. So
where is that information? It's in one of these menus.
It's in the menu that's not finished.
Yes.
Rightio.
Yeah, that one.
I'm not showing you none of that.
We can talk about it. It's in the sticker book.
The sticker book.
So, I mean, the sticker book's really cool actually, because it's like that's basically your collection of that's your encyclopedia of everything that you've encountered in the game so far. Whether it's got all of the exhibits that you found in it, so it is the sticker book of all of the exhibits in the game. And you know, we want that feeling of like, oh, I want to collect all of the exhibits.
Look at the back of these things. That's cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
I thought you were blocking the door to
No. It's just
It's also got guest archetypes, right?
Yeah.
So in the sticker book, you can go to a guest archetype and it'll break down in like cool little pie charts there, what they prefer to buy, what types of themes they prefer, and what types of exhibits as well.
Bedroom vending.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's
like you say, you can kind of look up like, oh, okay, professors, they've started coming in to the museum. How do professors work? Like, what's the best way to appeal to them, or yetis, or tourists, or whatever it happens to be?
Maybe you'll get a clown.
Maybe you'll get a clown.
I saw actually that the clown was giving other guests entertainment. They had a little feeling, and they were like, I see a clown, and it gave them a little boost, which I thought was hilarious. Because if I saw a clown, I would be terrified.
Yeah.
I would not have that reaction. But
would that be like when the frozen bees are chasing you?
Just run away.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, going back to the stars. I mean, in fact, yeah, you can see them now. Not now.
Not now.
Just open the crate. Oh, cool.
I was just
Attach.
There you go.
Can we please watch it? Go.
Cha-ching.
Whee!
It's cool. Yeah. So now that's got higher buzz, right?
Yeah. So if you go to the buzz bonuses, I think it's in this build. So it says 1 or 2 pieces found, and so, that makes sense. So the more bits you get, the higher the buzz. And actually, each piece has its own buzz. So like if you got the tail first, it might be less buzz than the head.
Yeah.
But you were saying.
But yeah, some other bits have appeared at the top of the screen there. So you've got there's your star rating. So as I say, we still have star ratings, but if you slightly move the cursor down, you see you're at 0 out of 1 on the stars, and that's because at this point in the game, the maximum star rating that you're able to achieve, that the Department of Culture will be willing to award you, is 1 star. But so when you do achieve that star, you will then be encouraged to go somewhere else. And by doing that, you're effectively boosting your kind of overall reputation as a museum manager. It's like your renown as a museum manager. And then that's going to allow you to come back here and get a higher star rating later on.
So once you've gone away to another museum and got that one to a star, the Department of Culture will go like, okay, you can now get 2 stars in Bracket City, right? And so what you're doing is as you're progressing through the game, you're kind of going through all your museums, coming back to them, and then going off again, and just growing with them all kind of up at once.
Oh, there's your toilet there. Go on in.
Finally.
So what Chiz just did there was add another assistant to the gift shop. It's something that we had in the library in campus, and there maybe a couple of other rooms. Something that I think people maybe didn't spot, but it's back because it's really important. You know, if you're Husky here, you want to make sure that you're getting as much money as you can out of their wallets, and if there's no plushies on the shelves, what are you going to do? So
jack the price
have
up.
someone stocking shelves and
£100 trinket.
Obviously,
For a
you need to be
keychain.
careful because you're hiring that
Tourists
second
might love it.
assistant. You're then
They might love it.
You are
your
paying
wage bill's going up, and so you need to carefully balance.
Yeah.
You know, is it worth? Am I going to be getting that much more income?
If you're doing this, then
I'd be
£100
interested
for a
to see
keychain.
your annual wage reviews for your
Right,
staff.
yeah.
Just like,
They're all
no,
miserable.
I'm sorry.
Oh, can you
Send
click
off
on
to the
a
tar pits.
staff member actually?
Anyone in particular?
Anyone. So you see here, they're a little bit like meh about their pay.
Just hired them and
and
they're
as
already
you
met.
change their wage,
You know what we should do?
Go on.
You should go into the staff list because that's the other way. Obviously,
that's the other way of doing it.
You can look at it individually, but you've got the
Good
tabs
finance tab.
at the top left. So now you've got your pay review tab, which
Oh,
for anyone who's
I'm
played
happy.
2 Point Hospital, you'll be maybe familiar with this way of looking at it because it's just a handy way of reviewing the pay of all of your staff in one go, and you can still tweak them individually. But you've also got
the big green button if you can't be bothered and just want to press.
You've not got anybody who's really happy about their wage, which is
No.
that's how you like to roll.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
looks more like your kind
Always
of.
keep them wanting more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a more in-depth finance tab, but it's on my don't show list because it is very work in progress right now. But the plan for the campaign is, at the moment we've shown prehistory, we've shown a little bit of marine life, but as we get kind of further on in the campaign, we will do like a proper look at all of the management stuff, staff zoning, finances, because I know that me personally, I don't really care about that. I want to decorate, but I know that a lot of management sim players really love being able to kind of, I don't say min-max, but have that control.
Yeah,
of
just
the
tweak. I think there's a lot of tweakable thing. Randy Longbottom, that's a great name. You should get Randy Longbottom in. There's just a lot of tweakable things in this game, whether it is prices or zoning or just all the customization. And I think that just means there's so much opportunity for different strategies and approaches.
Yeah, I think we were kind of thinking, you're spending so long in these places, you need it to feel more like yours, right? And so if I want to do a deep dive into the gift shop, right, I can do that. The tools are there. If I want to do the zoning or the one-way systems, there's just so many more things that you can kind of noodle around with.
Actually, that's going to break it.
And optimise, right?
Another thing that we didn't talk about, at the top of the screen, you've got museum level. I think you briefly went
We've
over
got
it.
ratings as well for guests, right?
Yeah, so museum level, again, and that's kind of based on how impressive all of your exhibits are, but it also includes your staff as well, and like how skilled they are and how much training you've done for them. So that's gradually going up, and that will allow you to do more things and help with certain things. That will kind of attract more guests. And there's kind of two things when it comes to the visitors coming in. One is you want to be attracting more of them, but then also you want to keep them in the museum as long as possible as well.
Yeah, because they donate based off buzz. So the more impressive the museum is, the more likely they are to donate. And so what you kind of tend to find is you want to get them really wowed initially so that they donate, and then maybe let them go to the gift shop or go have a bit of cool down, and then do another section with maybe a different theme. And as you're kind of getting to larger museums, you're noticing that they kind of have like a desire to stay. And then what you're trying to do is eke that out for as long as possible. So like maybe there's an option in the cafe that makes them stay for longer. And so you're kind of just stringing them along as long as possible. It sounds a bit like you're this
sounds really evil, Luke. Never expected that from you.
One thing I spotted as well, we went from a bronze rating to a silver rating just then. So you're not just trying to get donations out of them, but you also want them to leave a good impression and leave a good rating.
We've got the old training menu in there. You can ignore that.
Ignore that. It will look better.
Yes. In the latest build, that training menu looks awesome.
Yeah.
What was the thing you just said? I've forgotten what it was.
Museum rating.
Oh yeah. I mean that. Yeah. So basically, the visitors when they do.
And you get thoughts as well. I forgot about thoughts.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah. Okay.
That stuff's great. Yeah, because that really helps you understand, why they're giving you the reviews they're giving you. Basically, when they get to the end of their visit, like you say, you want to kind of keep them going as long as possible.
So they've said you put that ticket price at 100, and they're like, yeah,
told you.
Okay. Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, who have you been? Yeah.
But yeah, they'll give you a review when they finish their visit, and then that's effectively your rating, your reputation for the museum, and that's kind of based on a combination of how happy they were as they walked around. So did you give them food and drink and other stuff to keep them happy, and entertainment and all those things, but also like how impressed were they by all of the exhibits, like that buzz that you were talking about.
Did you give enough information as well?
Yeah, well that's it. This is where the knowledge becomes really important, is in those reviews, because if you know more about the exhibits that you have on display, and you're putting down the information stands so that they can actually learn about those exhibits, then they're going to give you better reviews at the end. And there's ways that as you progress into the game you can learn more about the exhibits that you're finding.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned analysis.
The analysis, yeah. So, if you did get that second foot fossil, you could put them into the analysis room, and that essentially converts it to data.
Yeah. Digitizes
it. And so it's gone. You can't place that foot fossil again, but you've learned more about the foot fossil.
Yeah.
And so whenever you get a new foot fossil, it will come at that new knowledge value.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm on camera.
Are we allowed 5 people in this room at once?
Health and safety.
Yeah. It's exciting.
You're blocking the emergency exit.
Very exciting.
God.
Mr. Webley has joined us, for anyone in chat who doesn't know.
Any questions for Mr. Webley? But yeah.
How tall are you? Oh wow, that's a good point. I used to be 5'10", but recently I was measured and I was shorter.
Really?
Quite disappointing, really. Like an inch and a half shorter.
We should do little like notches on the door for every member of the team.
Slowly getting down.
But yeah, the analysis is really cool because that becomes quite useful as you're building up a bigger museum. You know, if you do get an exhibit and you think, you know what, I don't necessarily need to have this displayed anymore, maybe because you found a higher quality one, or
And it also gives you perks, right?
well, yeah,
Your
exactly.
favourite, yeah.
Well, yeah. So analysis, it kind of does two main things, right? It increases the knowledge about the exhibits. Look, that's how much he loves the game.
Midnight Sage can see us. So.
Okay.
Get involved.
Oh, hi, Mark. But yeah, so that knowledge of the exhibits is really important.
Yeah.
That's kind of your primary thing when you're analysing the exhibits. But then also every time you complete the analysis, as you say, you gain a perk, and the perks are consumable things. You have a finite inventory of perks, and the higher the quality of your exhibits, the more perks you can install in it. And it's a bit like upgrading in the previous games.
Yeah.
Got a dilemma.
I do.
Okay,
I'm waiting
this
for him
is-
to stop so I can.
Sorry.
Just stop waffling. We've got something else. Also, yes, Diddle, Jane is the voice of the Tannoy again. Right, let's go.
Dun, dun, dun. What's
Bum, bum,
happened?
So this is kind of the choose your own adventure part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah. So every so often you'll get a dilemma will come up, and they're based around the locations you're going to as well. So if you're going to Must End, you know, it'll be desert themed, whereas if you're in the marine life map, might be more aquatic themed. And what you choose can have really big consequences. You know, they might go MIA. You might damage the exhibit. Lots of other things can happen. I don't know.
Oh look, we
Which
hit a
one
great
you got
camping
it?
spot as well.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm gonna go in and get it.
So what's happened because you've gone in? It's like you've damaged the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Well,
that
I got
right?
banged
You
up,
got
so
banged up.
the
Yeah.
Oh, they've
expert's
got
coming
like a
back.
broken.
You
yeah.
fought
With
bear.
the head, yeah, I
And
fought the
lost.
bear.
But you've got a bit of extra money, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to point out, this is another menu that's still working.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah.
It looks very pretty though. I love that. There's like little doodles. On
Yeah.
the
You guys haven't
right.
got very far. You've been on this like
We've
an
been
hour.
chatting.
Yeah.
We've been chatting
Have you
a
done
lot.
much decoration? And,
No, we're doing that this afternoon.
This afternoon?
Yeah.
Are you going to keep going?
We're gonna have a
for
half an hour
hours?
break,
Oh,
and then we'll
okay.
go on for hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So for everyone in chat, this is like Dev Insight. That's why we are mercilessly like grilling you. Very sorry. We're gonna have a little bit of a break, and then me and Chris are gonna come back and play the game in more like a let's play style. So it'll be a little bit more casual. And as we're playing, we'll be able to get more questions from chat as well, because I know that we've been talking quite a lot, so we've maybe not answered everything that you're asking. So we are a little bit over time. So is there anything that we've not covered? I think on my list we have pretty much chatted about knowledge, a little bit about gift shop. We spent quite a lot of time on expeditions, which is really good.
Mm.
Colour picker, beautiful, chef's kiss.
Yeah, all the creative tools, customization tools.
Castellon? Is that how I'm saying your name? What colour would you like? They're not a fan of the
Is it
green
too-
tea. then.
It's
too
Explorer
dark with
green.
I was going for Explorer Green,
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's
apparently
the same colour as your outfit.
that's exactly what I was going
Yeah.
for. You see, you got it.
Brown.
Or
Brown?
Is
Ah,
that Andre?
it's Andre.
It's Andre.
It's
Put
Andre.
some flooring
Warp's
underneath.
Andre,
Song
that's
just
not
said,
happening.
Staff can be replaced. We have one helicopter, so that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
harsh view. Warp's Song.
Castellon.
That's your.
I mean, I was going to say this is the other thing. Like, you know, we have one helicopter. at the moment,
Chartreuse?
right?
At the
So,
moment.
Oh, RD loves a bit of puce.
But
Go
as
on
you
then.
progress,
You can have a puce one.
You know, maybe you can afford a
Uh,
second helipads
And
and
a
then
third.
maybe even a third.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's crazy. That's too much.
Yeah.
The description of puce, by the way,
That's your
is,
puce, right?
is flea coloured.
Really?
What?
If you look up what was the definition of puce, it's flea coloured.
Wow.
Bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll now know
That's
what
weird.
puce looks
I
like.
remember
but,
it from
yeah.
my A levels.
Wow.
That was a long
I
time
did
ago.
that. Yeah, it was a maths A level, but nothing to do with it. It's just somebody.
Yeah.
So we
Anyway,
got through.
I'll leave you guys because I'm waffling and ruining it.
Thanks, Mark.
Any other colours?
We've just
Yeah.
seen Chiz expertly, as he is an expert, trained in survival training, and you've actually cleared the blockage, and now you're going into cold mines.
Mm-hmm.
Very
What
good.
Oh,
kinds of
look,
things
now I
might
get
you
to
find in
see.
the cold mines, Luke?
I think tropical stuff. No.
Really hot
yeah, it might be
exhibits.
the bees.
Could you have a look at the little, like, ooh.
Yeah, so there's 3 things you can find. We've not discovered any of them yet. And there's a couple of vents there as well. I think it's a bit more dangerous, cold mines.
I can't send you because you're banged
Yeah,
up.
so if your experts are injured, they can't go on the expedition. So you need to think about: do I heal them? Do I fire them? Or later on when you've got illnesses and stuff, there might be other decisions that you need to make based on that.
Oh, I can't because I need the one with the thing
you
which
need
you
survival
training.
training.
Yeah.
The survival training.
That's
Oh.
So you've got to get
Go heal them,
already
go heal
geared
them.
up.
Yeah.
What else I can do? So that I don't
will
do
the
that
explored
again.
areas stay unlocked as you move to another museum? That's a very good question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these maps, they are kind of at the meta level, right?
Yeah.
And so you really are building a kind of range of museums and a range of maps, and you can put them in any museum. So when I go to another museum, I can put all the prehistory stuff there if I want to,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
And you can do some quite interesting mixing and matching of the exhibit themes, right? And there's a little bit of few little Easter eggs with crossovers between the themes and nice little combinations that work well together.
And you might find prehistory stuff in another map, right?
Yes.
And other kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
they kind of cross-pollinate. It all works towards your museum goal.
Yeah, and I think this was something that we were keen to, as we were saying earlier, we want each museum to have more depth to it, but we also want that sense of managing multiple museums, and the progress that you're making in one museum can help you progress in another museum.
Yeah.
And part of that comes from these things that attract at that meta level, like your progress and the maps. So yeah, you do get this nice feeling of it's like you're kind of building up a whole institution or something that is or a series of museums.
It's like the mitted thing you were saying earlier. That I had a case the other day where I needed to clear an obstruction somewhere, but I had a team that was really well suited for it in a different museum. So I went to that museum, built up that team, prepared them for it, did the obstruction, and then went back to the other museum to carry on the rest of it. So you can sort of use and utilise your teams in each museum in different ways, right?
Yeah. And things like the knowledge carries across between the museums as well. So how much you know about the exhibits, so that analysis feature, that will boost the knowledge of each exhibit, but then that carries over to your other museums, will help you get better reviews in all your museums.
There's a poi, right, that you can already see that might require you to already go to a different museum to unlock.
Oh
right?
yeah.
I think that says redacted in the Gamescom.
It does, yeah. Whereas here, it doesn't.
But,
You could have a look at it.
yeah.
We can.
Once,
And
can
to
you view the
your-
world map?
Answer your question, Physios. You can
The world map?
equip
No.
cargo to your expedition team. So we touched on it a little bit earlier, but you start out with 3 basic cargo. So it's a book that helps the staff get XP, a bartering thing that makes it cheaper, haggling, that's it, and a first aid kit which can actually remove an event that injures staff. But later on you'll be able to build these cargo items in the workshop. So my favourite one is the net that lets you get 2 of the same
Two types
fish.
of fish.
Yeah. So I just kept going again to get more puffer fish.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about enlightenment.
I didn't
yeah.
know how much that had changed, and I didn't know whether or not.
I mean, that's the other benefit of the knowledge system
Yeah.
and learning more about the exhibits, is that your kind of overall knowledge of everything for a particular theme. So like prehistory, for example, the combination of everything you know about all the prehistory exhibits will allow you to unlock more items related to that.
Yeah,
that
so
theme.
there's a lot of decoration you can unlock, but you also unlock new interactive displays. So later on, if you learn more about prehistory, you'll be able to unlock another interactive display that is kind of like a mud sieving kind of thing, like at Legoland with the gold.
Yeah.
And so by learning more about it, you're more confident as a museum to show off a kind of interactive display that signifies that stuff. Maybe we should show that at some point.
Someone asking about outside stuff.
Yes.
I mean, you can put pretty much everything outside.
Yeah, do you
right?
want to put an exhibit outside? I don't know how much room. I normally put stuff out the side exit.
Yeah.
I like putting a big dinosaur outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can decorate outside. Someone asked earlier about building walls and stuff. If you want to sell this building and build your own building, absolutely fine. You can, when you unlock more plots, you can make a humongous, scary, big
Make a
cube
building.
if you would like. I know some people like making little minute buildings. things. You can do all of that.
You can make little courtyards that are
Yes.
outside, and then put exhibits out there,
Yeah.
and then force them through the one way, even though they're in a little courtyard. It's
Yeah,
quite cool. Oh, look at
that's lovely.
that.
All the dinosaurs are coming in.
Has your exhibit come back yet?
Probably.
Oh, want
Was
us
that
to look at the
a
wall
chisel? You're
map,
building
right?
like a madman. Stop.
It's very nice. But what's it gonna be?
It's the beehive.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Oh.
beehive.
Can we make it melt? Can we deliberately make it melt?
Yeah.
Mm.
Should we
And,
just
like,
stare
stick
at
it right
till it
in,
melts?
right in the thick of.
Yeah,
Oh,
put
yeah,
it
put
right
it
at
at
the
the
front.
Put it, yeah.
Where it's busy.
Chisels.
Maximum damage.
I am a
to
little
the
bit livid,
visitors.
but
Chaos.
go on
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, put it there.
Right
Maximum
there.
damage. And just
It's
ignore
melting.
Albert. Just
Yeah, so
Yeah.
ignore Albert. Albert
let Chaos
desperately.
Hang on, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that down and then I'm going to get rid of it because I'm just going to clear that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
delete it,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so if you click the exhibit while it's
Oh,
well, you can do it now.
What?
You can place it
You
if
clicked
you want.
them.
If you click the
I
exhibit,
know, but you want to use
Oh,
it.
they melt as well, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
ice
yeah.
rocks melt.
yeah, the decoration melts.
Like you've done it just as kids are starting to show off. as well.
Yeah.
They're all going
Right,
to
kids
slip.
are here. Get the bees out.
Yeah, so if you click the exhibit, you'll be able to see it has
There
a
we go.
requirement, and also it has its own kind of
What happens
maintenance.
if it melts? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But this one has a requirement of being frozen, but your fossils actually have a requirement of being kept dry. So if you go to somewhere that's more humid, or you put misters down, which you might get later, they'll actually decay faster. So at the moment they're absolutely fine, but later on you might have issues with that if you're trying to build a different kind of museum.
Yeah, so we can see that the snow is actually melting on the rocks because they're ice rocks, so they want to be kept cool as well.
That guy taking photos, like
Yeah.
completely unaware
Yeah.
of what's about
And
to hit.
the janitor's clearing the puddles as it's melting.
Yeah.
He's like, oh.
Yeah, should I notify my colleague?
Yeah, maybe I should just do the puddles.
Yeah, he's just left.
Yeah.
It's not their
Precisely.
problem.
That'll
They
be
don't care.
fine.
Selfie with the bees.
Yeah. For
I
chaos.
actually was taking B-roll of
B-roll.
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 Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, that guy's not realised.
Ah.
Oh,
He was just having
love
a
it.
stretch as the bees swarmed around his head.
I had someone stop in the chaos to take photos.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing?
You had that with the
Like,
fire as
I
well,
had it
didn't
with
you?
the
Someone
fire.
took a selfie with the
With
flames
the
behind them.
flames.
Yeah.
So how do I stop it, Luke?
Well, so this one with the frozen exhibits, they're kind of unique gameplay. Is once it's melted, it's game over for that exhibit. You kind of have to sell it.
Oh,
So there's
boom.
quite high stakes. It's similar
Or,
to the
well, you don't
Bonnie
have to
stuff.
sell it. You could like make an entire building
Oh,
filled with
yeah.
defrosted
Yeah.
beehives.
The bee
Nice.
wing.
Okay, we're gonna make some 2-point honey. Yeah, with prehistoric bees. I like it.
Obviously, in the trailer, a lot of people, when they saw the Iceman, they were like, oh, that won't happen in game. But
Oh,
yeah.
but it
Try
does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more chaotic, I think, than the bees.
and my favourite one was the giant monobrow.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I find the exhibit quite horrifying. If you're familiar with the monobrows from hospital, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like someone's monobrow fell off and it's alive.
The mono beasts.
And we've got a giant frozen one, and you can imagine what happens when that defrosts.
Mm.
Everything was bigger in prehistory, right?
Yeah.
So not just the bees, the
No,
mono beasts
and the
as
mono
well.
beasts.
The monobrow is back. No.
It must be the monobrow of one of the things that left those giant footprints to be that big.
Yeah.
Bill Thunder.
I've not actually seen this room.
It's nice,
Now that
isn't
it's
it?
got the windows on it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
very
cool.
nice. Very, very nice.
Because I used to put windows on the front of it because you know when sometimes you go to museums and you can see through to like where they preserve stuff, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like a behind the scenes.
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
I like the idea of guests going up and just kind of
Oh, whoops.
looking through the
I
window.
just literally pushed a button because it was there.
You can see that had a kind of flammable thing on it as well. So fires are back.
Where?
And
Oh yeah.
and some interactive displays are also flammable, and you'll need janitors with the firefighting qualification in order
Yeah.
to, otherwise it will just burn and explode.
Right,
Chaos will reign.
More chaos.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the workshop. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, I was going to say that's kind of where, as you're building up all these things, that's really where the plate
Yeah.
spinning comes in. You know, oh god, I need to stop that thing from melting. Oh god, that thing's on fire, and because it's on fire, it's making that thing melt faster.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
And that's with the themes as well, right? As you put more themes into one museum, all of their unique mechanics are buttoned up against each other. So, you know, you might have a frozen section, but now you might want a tropical botany section, and That means, well, I can't put the heaters near there, what's going to happen with that, and things like that. And then the bees melt, and now your guy can't water the botany plants, and the botany plants dead. It's just chaos reigns. Yeah.
We called it plate spinning.
Yeah.
Kind of, you're spinning lots of things and making sure that you're keeping everything balanced. Otherwise, chaos can ensue. Someone's asked if when exhibits are broken or dead or defrosted, if the price changes.
You get less.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So usually, with marine life, you do, apart from the special sushi fish, which has a special trait, which is it retains its sale value because it's delicious. But yeah, if it botany stuff, obviously, if that dies, its price goes down, and frozen things as well. If they melt, the price goes down. So yeah.
And where do we put
This
this?
is your
By
first
the gift shop.
interactive display. And so, as we were saying, you start with the dino climbing frame, but if you increase your enlightenment, you'd be able to get access to another prehistory interactive display that you
And
could do
how
as
did
well.
children get on the climbing frame? Please, Chizel.
What do you mean? Oh,
So there's some
Go on,
sort
the
of
bum.
entry point.
where else would you go into a dinosaur?
Of course.
It's the safest way.
The
'cause there's teeth.
safest way.
It's
There's teeth at the
yeah.
front.
And you don't
So-
climb up slides.
No.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Moving swiftly on.
Wait, have you got kids already wandering around, like family? Oh, there's some bored kids just sort of wandering around at the front.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't come through the entrance yet.
Oh,
They're probably
They've
bored
not.
because you didn't have the interactive
I know
display
you
yet.
do.
yeah.
I've not seen them left to climb.
I love the animation of the kids when they're
Yeah.
bored.
Because they're just
Just
like,
the way
Yeah.
they walk around. Yeah, see if you can find one, zoom in on them.
You're
That
not
kid's
bored.
they're still
happy.
chipper, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe the other ones were just leaving. They were at the front.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no more bored.
Your gift shop
Oh,
is-
pigeon!
Yeah.
Loads of pigeons. But yeah, the family groups are really cool because then you're sort of having to think about catering to all of the people in that family group. But then you get bigger groups showing up later on, like a school trip. Might
Yeah,
show
school
up,
trips,
and
yeah.
That's just
I love the school
absolute
trips.
chaos.
Because I've got so many screenshots of a teacher just on their phone. And
Right,
there's a
yeah.
kid hanging off the climbing frame.
Yeah.
There's two more running into the botany.
Being chased by prehistoric bees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the teacher's just there like scrolling.
Yeah. And there's different schools as well that bring different trips, and so each school is interested. There's an art school who are more interested about decoration and things like that, and then there's like the brainy school, which are really interested in knowledge and things. So even within the school stuff, there's different kind of prerequisites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, that's the one. Don't touch. Yeah.
It's cool, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
but
work
not for your game.
at all.
Yeah, we have ice flooring. Oh, could you use the fill tool?
On what?
Just anything.
I mean.
On the entire
Yeah.
the main bit of floor.
Oh, you want to
Um,
do the whole floor? I mean, I was going to do
yeah.
this bit of wall again. But.
So we have for flooring, obviously normal placement that you're used to, little squares. You can do individual triangles and you can do a line tool, but you can also just like use a paint bucket to fill the entire floor if you like. And you'll notice that it's free. So you're not having to worry about the cost involved for this. We wanted people to kind of, straight off the bat, you can lay out the kind of route that you want your guests to take.
That's not
and
bad.
I like the marble because it's like
Oh, marble?
very reflective.
Where am I looking for marble? That one.
That
That
one?
one's nice.
That's the,
I like
the
the,
OG.
the dark one.
Oh yeah, that one.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it's very shiny. Yeah.
So
We are close to time.
Okay.
So we have any final bits
I mean, I
we've not
guess
spoken
stuff
about?
that we haven't talked about that you don't have at this point in the game, but eventually you're going to start thinking about things like guided tours. That's
Yeah.
quite an exciting part of the game when you get to
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
because you really get to customise exactly how you want your tour to work. You set exactly right this exhibit, then you go to this exhibit, then this exhibit, and you want your best experts to be taking people on those guided tours to basically show them all the cool
Yeah,
stuff
and
and tell them about
They're kind of rated off of sort of 5 factors, right? Like how cohesive the tour is, how long it is. So if you put things too far away, the guests will kind of get bored of it. And so there's a lot of depth in the tour system.
Yeah.
And you kind of, when you get to be able to use tour stands, you're actually starting to look at your museum again and go, is this the best way I could lay it out? Maybe I could, optimise it for a tour.
And you can set up like as many guided tours as you want,
Yeah.
really, as long as you've got enough experts in the museum to support that many guided tours. Obviously, the other thing we haven't really talked about is security. which I know we're probably going to do a deep dive on further down the line.
We
but,
need a better term for deep dive, because when we were using it
that's
for
true, it
marine
makes
life,
sense.
Yeah, it was great.
We're going to do
Yeah.
some security based fun. I don't know.
Zoom in.
Zoom
or-
in,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Enhance.
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 But I mean, the security system's like a whole extra layer on top of what's here.
And we joke about your nightmare maze of gift shops, but that has a use for thefts and security as well, right? Like you can make bottlenecks, you can make interesting layouts that are more secure. If you have a wide open space, you're kind of
You have the
more
little
vulnerable.
chairs as well, right? For security.
Yeah, like special guard stands where.
So you could have people, they have to pass by a guard basically to go to the next stage.
Yeah.
So.
All my donation stands have a security guard
Next to them.
placed nearby. I've got like a one tile zone.
Yeah.
They just stood there all the time.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't want to donate in your museum. That would terrify me.
Oh, this is new.
you're very
choice.
strict.
Yeah, you have no choice.
This is new.
Oh yeah. This is the guest log, and so it's just a way for you to get a bit more information on what a guest likes, what it doesn't like. This is what's driving the review stuff we saw earlier. With the kind of that's surfacing the top opinions of these logs, and so you can see they visited a gift shop, but it was a long queue. So maybe you're going, well, maybe I need a second gift shop, clearly, or maybe a bigger gift shop, and they really like the honeybee. And it also tells you things like how much they donated as well, which can be useful for kind of seeing if there are areas that people aren't donating as much. Maybe it's because there's not enough buzz. Maybe you need better quality exhibits, that kind of stuff.
I may be putting my foot in it somewhat, but is there somewhere that I can see like overall guest thoughts? Like obviously there's the guest rating, right? That gives you a little like.
Yeah, that shows you your.
Wait, the one to the
little
left.
top ones.
Yeah.
So
we
that's
kind of
like
tried to
common.
make these tooltips as useful as possible, really. Like rather than we do have a bunch of management screens, but we wanted to kind of put the most useful information in the tooltips on the HUD, because then it's just so easy to access it while you're in the museum and still playing.
It does remind me of like if you played any old like tycoon games, when you get the angry face and everyone will be like, "There's litter everywhere," so you can go really minute, and you saw that person was complaining about long lines in the gift shop. So you're constantly getting feedback on how you're doing and what you can improve, which is lovely. So. Okay.
Someone was asking about the cafeteria. I mean, the cafeteria is quite cool because you get to choose what types of food.
Yeah, you get to choose the food options, and each food option has kind of like a different bonus that it gives. So if you have kind of like animal shaped nuggets, it'll increase the entertainment for guests and things like that, and you'll gain more foods through the game, and you can also potentially get them through the enlightenment system as well. And so it's almost like a space where guests go in and you can give them almost like a little power up before they carry on their tour of the museum.
Oh, that's new as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People sitting on the
Stop
roof.
finding new things.
Yeah.
Why? Isn't that what I'm here for?
Don't worry, you can still hover over to see exactly what they're getting up to in there. It's just
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, you have rainbow toilets.
rainbow.
Is that the toilet terror guy?
That would be rather amazing, wouldn't it?
No.
No,
That's a
okay.
shame.
Anyway,
That kid is so bored.
Oh yeah, zoom in on the board, kid.
Oh,
I
just
did
did
follow
a little
one
bit,
around.
yeah.
that's weird.
Hmm?
I said I did follow one around in reference to a kid.
Yeah.
Not really. I just feel like I have to quantify that.
Are we doing a guided tour
Hey,
or something?
Yeah, you're an expert.
Yeah.
sure.
You're
Come
a
on,
tour
kid.
guide.
Yeah.
Come over this way. There you
And they
are.
might be waiting for someone to use the loo.
They absolutely
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
They're waiting for their group leader. Ooh. In fact, does it say on there? Well,
You can see they've got
Oh,
their
yeah, you
head
can
back.
see-
I've got the.
Because they're so bored.
There you go. You can see everyone in the group
Well, it's
there.
the basket family.
Baskets. Yes. Board baskets.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to throw to our faces now to say goodbye.
Is that me gone because I'm behind a thing when you do?
No, I hid it, look.
Oh, you did.
There you go.
You did.
It's fine. Thank you very much. I feel like we've gotten a pretty concise look at quite a lot of the game, actually. Obviously, there's stuff that we've not shown. There's some exhibit themes that we haven't shown, and this is only one level. So we'll be back. We'll be doing another stream later in September. We'll let you know the time and date and stuff. This will stay on Twitch, and we'll also put it up on YouTube as well as a VOD. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Please wishlist the game. It makes a big difference. And we will be back after like a 20-minute break, and we'll be doing like a let's play. So it'll be a little bit more easy breezy, and we'll do some more decorating. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Love your faces, chat. See ya.
Bye.